We are back here and we're back with a bang because we're going to talk about, of course, the African Cup of Nations draw. Initially, we were supposed to have the Gambia Olympic team, but unfortunately, due to some miscommunications, they couldn't make it here. So, nonetheless, we will create time for them, Gina Bass and the team, because they deserve to come on national television, have this platform, and talk to the general public, have that interface with the general public. But we will schedule them for another program, inshallah. They will come here and we will discuss. They will discuss, of course, with the general public. But nonetheless, the news that is on everybody's lip, or the headlines that is making the news around, of course, is the African Cup of Nations draw. Yesterday night, I guess all of you watched it on the Gambia radio and television services when we brought you the live draw of the African Cup of Nations. The Gambia's maiden appearance at the Continental Showpiece football event. Well, my name is Momodes Chalo, and with me in the studios today is brother Vicente Gomez, a reliable partner of this program, a reliable contributor to this program, a football fan, a football pundit, a sports lover. He fits all the descriptions. Brother, welcome after a while.
Thank you very much, MS. It's my pleasure, and I'm so glad to be with you here, especially talking about our participation in the first ever AFCON that the Gambians have been waiting for. And for the older generation, some never thought it would happen during their lifetime. It's a pleasure being here.
And I have Mr. Marcel Mendy, Executive Director of the National Sports Council, who have a very important role to play in the country's participation from the qualifiers to the qualification and now to the tournament itself, will have and will continue to play a pivotal role in the team's preparations and participation at the African Cup of Nations. Marcel, welcome to the program, and thanks for coming despite the short notice.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, it's always a pleasure to be around. This is what we want to talk about. This is what we love talking about. This is what we have decided to be involved in. So it's always a pleasure to be around to talk about it. Thank you so much for having us.
And I can also say Ulef.
Ulef, yes.
Well, a quick, let me have your reactions to the African Cup of Nations draw. The Gambia pitted in Group F alongside the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia, the Eagles of Mali, and the Morabitons of Mauritania. Interesting group.
Very interesting group, but it's a group that honestly, at a personal level, as a fan, it's a group of faith. You know, Group D is called Group of Death. For me, Group F is a group of faith. Faith as in believing that we will go through, not faith as if we will end in the first round, no. Yes, we have all respect for anybody who makes it to the Cup of Nations. They're already champions. But when we get there now, we are playing these teams, as far as I'm concerned, for the first time. And history should be made on our part in our first time. So, yes, it's Tunisia, yes, it's Mali, yes, it's Mauritania. Tunisia, Mali have always been seen to be big guns in African football, but that's on paper. But come 2022, Gambia can also make its history, and it will be on record. So for me, I'm hopeful, and I trust the team will have more hope than I do, because I'm already seeing ourselves in the quarterfinals.
Wow, very, very confident. I know you were tense yesterday like everyone else. What your reaction to the draw?
I mean, it's nothing different from that of my brother here. None of the teams really, we can say is an underdog, but I can assure you too, none of them is a team that we will fear. I know that like again Vicente said earlier on, every team that has gotten there has put in a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice and all of that. But we did the same too, and that is why we got there. So that is all the more the reason why we are very confident that we will make it to stages that probably some people did not think we can. Yes. We are very confident at the level of the ministry, at the Sport Council. We are quite hopeful that this is not a group that we will not make it from. No.
Okay. Well, we'll be talking about the preparation and, of course, what the Ministry of Youth and Sports is doing about the preparations. But first, let's go to Cameroon, because we were able to get in touch with Coach Tom Saintfiet and sounded his reaction to the draw, because the Gambian coach is in Cameroon, where he attended the draw alongside the Scorpions team manager, Usman Cho Drame. So let's hear Coach Tom Saintfiet's reaction to the draw with the Gambia Radio and Television Services Sports Unit.
Very excited with the draw. I think we can't complain about it. When you asked me before the draw, my idea or my wish list, it's close to this. Every country who is qualified is strong. There are no easy opponents, but I think Tunisia is a good quality team in our group. But with Mali and Mauritania, we have neighbor countries. We can be competitive to us. So I think we are very happy. Today we visited also the stadium, the hotels, and we are starting the preparation. So really looking forward to it. I think it's a good draw. We have to be taking it serious. We can never underestimate any opponent, and I think we will be ready for this.
How about the venue?
It is in the English-speaking zone of Cameroon. We are the only English-speaking country in our group, so probably we can hopefully animate the fans to come and support for us. We saw the stadium; it's a good stadium. Infrastructure is good. Our training accommodation is good. We saw the hotel; it's okay, yeah, we are really looking forward to coming here back.
Well, that was Coach Tom Saintfiet speaking to me shortly before coming on this program. The same reactions as the two of you.
Good interview, and I'm glad that he is not underrating any team. Lest we forget, Mauritania is no longer an underdog in football, especially African football.
Absolutely, they are not.
And they honestly have a program that, to me, is sustainable from the youth to the elite level. So if really some people believe it's Mauritania, they may be mistaken. Well, Mali...
I'm not cutting you short. We were in Mauritania for the under 20 tournament. He came and found us there. But he can attest to what he has seen in Mauritania in terms of how they are developing their football, the infrastructure, the organization. So they are definitely not a pushover. And the fact that they've qualified to the African Cup of Nations before us, they've qualified to the CHAN, and their progress, like you said, is very, very important.
Very well. I mean, like you said, we were there and we saw how well they are progressing. And this is one thing that probably we should learn from. It is a lesson for some of us, and also the fact that we need to, like Vicente said earlier on, understand that in African football, if you consider some of them as underdogs, you may be really, really disappointed. We are happy that the coaches that prepared, all of us are so prepared. We want to take them, game after game, and that's that. I mean, for us, there is no underdog here. If they have to listen to our advice, this is what we've got to tell them. So we are getting ready at the level of the ministry, and we are hopeful that everybody else is getting ready, because this is something that is about the country. This is something that everybody has got a part to play. So we all have to do something somehow, in some way, in order for us to achieve the desired goals.
All right. We'll be talking to the president of the Gambia Football Federation, Lamin Kababajo, on the phone to sound his reaction as well. But you started talking about the teams in the group. You talked about Mauritania.
Exactly. I've talked about Mauritania because, as a fan, I am one, and many others will say, this pool, for many, it's a very easy pool. But mind you, looking at just names and assuming that is easy, when it comes to the real thing itself, it may not be easy. Before now, Gambia was never rated among African quote-unquote football. Okay. But now, a lot of teams are even afraid to play against Gambia.
Against Gambia, exactly. It's like we have the president of the Gambia Football Federation on the line. Good evening, Mr. Bajo. Hello, Mr. Bajo, are you getting me?
Yes, yes.
Good. First of all, we want to know your reaction to last night's draw as the president of Gambia Football.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, I think after thanking Allah.
Oh, okay. I'm afraid we have lost Mr. Kababajo, but we will try to reconnect the line. You were saying something?
Yeah, exactly. So as I said before now, a lot of teams, if we talk about Gambia, they may just think we are just whipping boys. But now many teams are honestly scared of meeting with Gambia. Why? Because they noticed we played against Angola and we got them out of the way. We played against who?
DR Congo.
DR Congo, we
Yes.
got them out of the
Gabon.
way. We got Gabon. So looking at that pool alone, a lot of people never expected Gambia to go through.
Absolutely.
Knowing that Congo, Angola, and are just oil-rich countries.
Yeah.
And Gambia, what do we have? But we came and proved many other people or skeptics wrong. So let's not also sit and wait honestly for Mauritania to surprise us. Or, well, Mali and Tunisia, we would not call it surprise because we know they were there before us. But we should go there as equals. It doesn't matter. We're going to a new competition, and we have definitely the quality to deliver. And I'm glad the coach is not underrating any, team in his own group. And that's what we want. Let's just ensure that we do things right, get the funding required, get all the people that need to be there who matter to be there, and let the players just concentrate on doing one thing, playing. That's all they are there for. Let them go and play. The fans should go there to support. The administrators should be there to ensure that they administer and get things right. And funds must be released and released on time to ensure that everything is in place. Otherwise, that alone mentally may affect us. The technicians will do their technical work, but the psychologists should also start working on the mindset of these players, and then the administrators administer and everything. Once it is in place, rest assured, as I said, quarterfinals may be my target, but Marcel and others may be thinking of semifinals and finals. And don't be surprised, we can be there.
You can be there. Well, he said the funds must be released on time, preparations must be done, administrative works must be done, and that's exactly why we have you here. What is being done at the National Sports Council and by extension the Ministry of Youth and Sports and government towards preparing the Scorpions for the Continent Showpiece football event?
I just want to agree with him one more time that those are absolutely important for us to achieve the desired goals. We need to have all of those things in place, the administrators, the finances, the players having the right mindset and all of that, the funds as well. So we want to do everything humanly possible at the level of the National Sport Council, at the level of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, to ensure that all of these things are put in place. As we speak, we've already gotten a request for a training camp that is going to happen in Comoros. We're already working towards that. I can assure you that will be a very good one. It's going to be a successful one. Also, there are plans there is a plan also for another training camp and one or two other test matches even before the team leaves to the tournament proper. All of those things the ministry and the GFF have already started working on, and I can assure you that the ministry is so committed to this. The ministry is so interested in ensuring that we have a hitch-free campaign. This is the first time we are going in there, and that is why we want to do everything humanly possible to ensure that we are not found wanting in anything. Of course, if we go there, anything we eventually get, or anywhere we eventually stop, we understand and we'll appreciate the efforts of everybody. But we want to be sure that we don't stop at the quarterfinals because we did not have the good preparation, or we don't stop at the semifinals because we were ill prepared. No, we want to be as prepared as possible so that anything that happens, we take it in good faith. But I can assure you, in terms of preparation, in terms of preparing the team, the logistics and all of that, we are very much on a high gear. In fact, we intend to launch the National Coordinating Committee 25th of this month. In fact, God willing, His Excellency the President will officially launch the National Coordinating Committee for Road to Cameroon 2021.
I believe that was news that you and I wanted to hear.
Oh yes, oh yes.
The launching of the road to Cameroon. Some of us were expecting this, in fact, to happen immediately after the qualification.
qualifiers.
Yeah, but better late than never. We're happy that Marcel, even though yesterday somebody hinted this on the platform during the draw, but coming from the executive director of the National Sports Council, it's a pleasing news.
I am very happy that honestly everybody already knows what ought to be done for us to get there and get there prepared. And I'm glad that my brother has actually told us before maybe it is officially announced about this. He knows. Years back, we used to have Gambia for Gold, all geared towards us getting to the first ever African Cup of. It never materialized. Thank God it happened this year. And this National Coordinating Committee being launched, resources must be mobilized. Funding is key, and government will not be able to fund the budget for AFCON because there are a lot of other things definitely that are there. And I said this yesterday. We have...
It's like we have Kaba on the line again. Good evening, Mr. Bajo. Hello, Mr. Bajo. Hello. It's like we still. We'll fix that. In the meantime.
Start talking about lack of this or lack of that, which may affect our campaign. We don't want anything that will come in between us and our preparation so that the players will have no excuse. The coach will have no excuse. So it will now be left to them to go and deliver as expected. As I said, honestly, looking at our pairing, I am already in the quarterfinals. That's me. Anything is a bonus. I'm serious. Anything is a bonus.
All right,
but all other teams also will be also saying the same thing, knowing that they are paired with the Gambia. So at the end of the day, let's go. And as they say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating.
Well, let's go and hear what some of the fans have been saying about the draw, because Giata Sports Famara Baji was at the Independence Stadium earlier this evening, where there are two very important matches in the second division playoff. The stadium is jam-packed. We have supporters from Bakau and Gunjur and Jambanjili storming the Independence Stadium because they want to be in the first division. They want to join Falcons. Anyway, I was waiting for Marcel to congratulate on air, but Marcel is Falcon, so no need to do that. Well, let's see what the fans have been saying. We'll be back momentarily.
In terms of experience, in terms of the quality of players. So I am not being less optimistic about Gambia, registering success, but I am just trying to put things the way they are. The record is that Gambia is the least experienced team in that group, and therefore, for us to make it to the next level, we need to fight harder than the other opponents would do. Yeah.
Administratively, what do you think we need to do now that we know our opponents from GFF level down to all the stakeholders?
Well, this is a crucial question and also a crucial aspect of the competition. But first of all, I think the first thing that we need to do is to ensure that the proper players are on the ground. Over the years, myself and a whole lot of Gambians sometimes will make noise about the selection criteria and the players who have been picked to the team. I think what should be looked at today, going forward towards the African Cup of Nations competition, is the quality of the players we are selecting. It's not about history, who has served the Gambia, but who can actually do the work. Over the years, let's say players like Ali Sow and a whole lot of sets, Gambians would make noise about why they are not being picked into the squad. And we feel that Gambia can have more depth with certain players if they are actually called up to the squad. But I think today what we need to do really is to ensure that the right players are selected and then they are prepared well towards the competition.
Kebi Sonko, the Gambia, you know the opponents. I mean, the teams they are drawn in the same group with. Do you consider that group tough?
Well, I think it's the least we have expected. Remember, we are the lowest ranked team among all the 24 teams that have qualified to the AFCON. But fortunately for us, I would say fortunately, we are drawn against Mali. Yes, Mali is a very strong side, especially, they are a permanent fixture as far as the Africa Cup of Nations are concerned. And of recent, they are doing very well in the youth, in youth football. But this is not youth football, but we know youth football is normally the feeder to the national team. And they finished top on top of their group. And we finished too, and I will say we finished top, and that is not a fluke that we are into this tournament. Some people will argue that because of the tournament has been stretched from 16 to 24, but remember we finished first. It's not even, we don't even finish as runners up. So it's a very strong group, especially we have the likes of Tunisia. Tunisia have qualified almost all the AFCONs that have taken place. The last time they won, yes, it was in 2004, but they always participate, and we know how good the Maghreb teams are, that's the North African teams. But again, this is a Gambian team that has improved a lot, especially having a coach like Thompson Fair, who always know.
Well, those were some of the reactions from the fans. Vicente, I saw you nodding your head.
Yeah, I'm nodding my head because one of the participants or speakers talked about, yes, we have a team that might have gotten us the qualification to AFCON, but some of them may not necessarily participate in AFCON. And I agree with that because a player's form definitely could always fluctuate. And if we're not in top form, just because you qualified Gambia to AFCON, it's not for me a visa for you to be in AFCON. So definitely I agree with that, and I hope the technical team as well as the coach, well, they ought to have known better than all of us, definitely have that at the back of their mind. Yes, those who qualified us to AFCON, congratulations. We appreciate you. You're already history makers. But being in AFCON is another thing altogether.
All right, Marcel, we have almost exhausted our time. Now, just tell us a little bit about the launching of the planned launching of the National Coordinating Committee. What work will be done from here against the launching?
Yeah, well, for now, almost everything is done. We're just waiting on the day. Of course, the coordinating committee is not yet being launched, but I can assure you that a lot of work is happening behind the scenes. It's just a question of having this day done, having the launch done. Then everything will go public and all of that. But I can assure you a lot of work is being put into this, and the ministry is so committed to ensuring that the boys, the national team, don't lack anything. Like Vicente said, I mean, we don't want to take any chances. We don't want to give anybody any reason to have any excuses. So that has to start with us as a ministry, as a government. We have to be sure that everything that is required of us is fulfilled. And that is what we are working towards. We have some strategies as well. Even this contribution by individuals, contribution by parastatals, all of these things we have. And that is why the coordinating committee does not comprise only the ministry staff and the JFF. We have as well some influential Gambians, some businessmen and all of that as part of the coordinating committee, so that we are able to reach out to every Gambian at every corner. I mean, like I said earlier on, this is a Gambian thing, so all of us have got to contribute somehow towards ensuring that we have a very fruitful campaign.
Okay. Vicente, we have exhausted our time. We later start the program, but I believe we have had quality discussions here, and this is going to continue. From here on, I know the ministry, we will engage the ministry and through the National Sports Council very well to sensitize the general public on the committee. Your final words.
I just want to thank all Gambians who, in one way or the other, have contributed to definitely seeing us in AFCON. Some people have done it, they did not live to witness it. Others did it today, they definitely never believed that it would have happened during their time. And we hope and pray that getting to AFCON, we should never ever lag behind and be actually flip-flopping. We want to qualify for AFCON and ensure that every other competition, Gambia would be present.
Okay. Marcel, final.
Well, just to thank everybody too. We know that this is not, like somebody said, by accident. It's a result of a lot of hard work. Everybody contributed. the journalists, the fans, the parents, the footballers, everybody, of course, government. So we want to appreciate everybody. We want to appreciate everybody and thank everybody, and but challenge them more. Because often it is said that the more you decorate it, the more challenge you become. We have gotten to the AFCON, now we got to work harder. We have got to do and redouble our efforts. So we want to appreciate everybody and say work has just started. So let's go out there and do it for our land.
Well, it's great to have you on the platform. Like I said, we will continue the discussions. Like I said yesterday, we'll be having a special program on GRTS called Road to AFCON or Road to Cameroon, which will be specially dedicated to the African Cup of Nations, the build-up, because I feel that we have to build the hype. We have to enjoy this moment. This is a moment that we have been waiting for so long. And since you qualified, it's like thing has died down. So at least we need something. And we're going to start it here on GRTS, whereby we will be discussing exclusively about the African Cup of Nations. I'll be working that with the management, and I guess they're going to support me. Well, that's where we bring down the curtain. But I know some of you watching there would be asking, why is this doing here? This is from Brother Vicente. Anytime he comes here, he comes with the Road to AFCON. As you can see, I think this is the third time you bring in this for me. And anytime you bring it, somebody will take it. But this one, nobody's taking one. This one is, this one is Cameroon. So this is so beautiful. Cameroon, here we come.
All the way to
Oh, okay. Brilliant. I love this. Thank you so very much.
So nice.
Cameroon, here we come. The scorpions. You see? Oh, okay, the heart is here.
Oh, yes.
Good. Wonderful.
So there you are, you are complete.
You are complete.
Good. Sirasis, how do I look?
Very good.
Well, viewers, that's all we have time for. President Kaba Bajo of the Gambia Football. We apologize because we have problem with the line, but we will have you here on the platform, God willing. I was wanted to have the technical director or Ibu Fai, but unfortunately they couldn't make it as well. But like I said, the discussions will continue here on the Gambia Radio and Television Services. That's all time permits us. Good night. Stay tuned for the 10 p.m. news with Fatu Elika Mulusi.
élection jaru xaajale xeet ñun ñëpp benn lañ ñun ñëpp doomi Gambie leen